plan. There's a war happening in your life, and it starts the moment your alarm clock rings. That sound, that small vibration, plan, is more than just a call to wake up. It's a test, a daily challenge, a quiet reminder that your dreams, your growth plan, your next chapter, they all begin right now. And the enemy? It's not the clock, plan. It's the part of you that keeps pressing snooze on your life. You see, plan. Your alarm clock isn't just waking you from sleep. It's confronting your hesitation. Every morning you have a choice, plan, to rise or to retreat. And most of us retreat. We tell ourselves, plan, 5 more minutes won't hurt. Not realizing that those 5 minutes become a lifetime of delay, plan. What you're really postponing is not your morning. It's your mission, your purpose, your power, plan. That alarm doesn't just measure time. It measures discipline. It measures how serious you are about the life you say you want, plan. And if you can't win that first battle of the day, how do you expect to win the rest? The truth is, plan. The snooze button is not harmless. It's the first lie you tell yourself each day, plan. It's the first opportunity you have to either show up or shut down. And deep down, you know it. You know you're meant for more, plan. But if you keep losing to that sound each morning, you're not just staying in bed. You're staying behind, plan. That small moment of decision is shaping your future in ways you can't even see yet. So stop thinking the alarm is your enemy, plan. The real enemy is comfort, plan. And beating it starts the moment you choose to rise. We think of alarm clocks as just devices. Machines meant to wake us up so we don't miss work, plan, school, or responsibilities. But in truth, your alarm clock is so much more than a buzzing sound at 5 or 6 a.m. It's a mirror, plan. It reflects something very personal, your relationship with your own commitment. Every time it rings, plan. It asks a simple yet powerful question. Are you really ready to live the life you say you want? And your response to that question sets the tone for everything that follows, plan. When you ignore your alarm, you're not just turning off a sound. You're turning away from a choice to grow, plan, to rise, to start before the world does. We treat the alarm like it's the enemy, plan, when it's actually holding up a mirror to our willpower. The truth is, how you respond to it is how you respond to life, plan. Do you rise when it's uncomfortable? Do you honor your promises, even when you don't feel like it, plan? Do you show up for your future, even when your body begs for comfort? Plan. Your alarm clock doesn't care about what you post on social media. It doesn't believe your vision board or your New Year goals, plan. It listens only to action, plan. That ringing sound in the morning strips away all the filters. It brings you face to face with your real self, plan, not the version you show to others. It reflects your discipline, your resilience, your hunger, not with judgment, but with honesty, plan. And sometimes that honesty is hard to face. But if you can look into that mirror and decide to rise, even once, plan, you've already begun to win. We often say we're waiting for a sign, that we'll start tomorrow or next week, plan, or when we feel ready. But what if your alarm is the sign, plan? What if every morning you've been handed a silent opportunity to become the person you were meant to be? And you've been sleeping through it, plan. That clock isn't just counting hours, it's counting chances. And each time you ignore it, plan, you're not snoozing minutes, you're snoozing momentum, plan. And momentum is the one thing you can't buy back. Every day begins with a quiet battle, and it's not fought in meetings or deadlines, plan, but in that small, unseen moment between sleeping and waking, plan. That moment when your alarm goes off and everything inside you begs for 5 more minutes. It feels harmless, plan, but that choice, to get up or to stay down, sets the tone for everything else, plan. Because it's not really about waking up early. It's about proving to yourself that you can keep a promise when no one is watching. Plan. Winning that first battle gives you something far more valuable than extra time. It gives you ownership. It tells your mind, plan, I'm in control today. That single moment of discipline becomes a ripple that touches your focus, your energy, plan, your confidence. When you start the day with action, not reaction, you carry a quiet power into every room you walk into. Plan. You don't wait for life to happen. You begin it with intent. And that changes how the entire day unfolds. Plan. The first battle isn't about productivity. It's about identity. It's about who you believe you are. Plan. Do you see yourself as someone who avoids difficulty? Or someone who does hard things? Plan. The way you answer your alarm clock reveals the way you handle resistance. Plan. And the more you train yourself to win in that early moment, plan, the more resilient you become when life throws bigger challenges your way. Because if you can conquer the small wars, plan, you're already preparing to conquer the large ones. People look for motivation in books, in videos, in other people, plan. But the most powerful motivation comes from winning against your own weakness. From rising when your body says no, plan, when your mind says later. That first win, the one between you and your pillow, is where the real work begins. Plan. And every time you win it, you walk taller. Not because anyone saw it, but because you did. You witnessed your own discipline. Plan. And that is how warriors are built. One morning at a time. Plan. We often think the snooze button is harmless. Just 5 more minutes, just a little more rest. But the truth is, plan. When you hit snooze, you're not delaying your alarm. You're delaying yourself. Plan. That small action becomes the first lie of the day. I'll get up soon. But soon becomes later. Later becomes never. Plan. And without realizing it, you've trained your mind to tolerate delay, to accept hesitation. Plan. To be okay with choosing comfort over commitment. Plan. That moment of hitting snooze is more than just physical laziness. It's spiritual avoidance. Plan. It's the quiet moment where you tell your dreams, you can wait, even though they've waited long enough. Plan. And you may not notice it immediately, but that one decision leaks into the rest of your day. It makes quitting easier. Plan. It makes breaking promises to yourself feel normal. Because once you've already lied to your purpose, plan, it becomes easier to do it again and again. The saddest part is deep inside, you feel the sting of the lie. Plan. That guilt, that frustration, that disappointment in yourself, it doesn't come from failure. Plan. It comes from knowing you could have moved and you didn't. Plan. That inner voice. The one that says you're made for more doesn't scream. It just goes quieter each time you ignore it. Plan. And what you ignore long enough, you begin to forget. Not because it stopped mattering, but because you stopped showing up. Plan. Your dreams don't die because life is cruel. They die in the quiet, in those early hours, in that snooze cycle. Plan. In that silence you choose when you know you should rise. That's where regret is born, not from massive failure. Plan. But from small dishonesty. So every time your finger hovers over that snooze button, ask yourself, plan, am I postponing my alarm or am I postponing my potential? We blame the alarm clock for disturbing us. Plan. But it's not the clock that's the enemy. It's the comfort we've become addicted to. The warmth of the blanket. Plan. The silence of the early morning. The illusion that another hour of sleep will fix everything. Plan. But comfort has a way of deceiving us. It tells us to rest when we should rise. It whispers that safety is better than struggle. Plan. And if you keep listening to that voice, you'll stay exactly where you are, soft, safe, and stuck. Plan. Comfort never announces itself as the enemy. It comes dressed in softness. It feels like self-care. It promises relief, plan. But what it quietly steals is your hunger, your urgency, your fire. And day by day, plan. You lose the edge that was meant to sharpen you. You become so familiar with ease that effort starts to feel impossible, plan. Your dreams don't need more comfort. They need your discomfort. Because that's where growth happens. Not when you're cozy, plan, but when you're called higher. It's not that you're lazy. It's that comfort has convinced you to settle, plan. And settling feels harmless at first, but over time it builds walls around you. You stop reaching, you stop risking, plan. You stop rising. You tell yourself you're just tired, just stressed, just needing a break. But deep down, plan, you know it's not your body that's tired. It's your spirit that's been idle. You were not created to play small, plan, to shrink back, to surrender your calling to a pillow and a blanket. The alarm clock doesn't attack you. It awakens you, plan. It interrupts comfort so you can return to purpose. And that interruption may be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary, plan. Because nothing great is ever built in a comfort zone, not discipline, not success, not legacy. So when that alarm rings, plan, don't run from it. Don't curse it. Recognize what's really happening. Comfort is trying to hold you back, plan. And you have a decision to make: protect your comfort or protect your calling. Every morning before the world sees you, plan. Before your phone lights up, before your responsibilities knock at your door, you make a choice. A quiet plan. Unseen declaration about who you are and who you're becoming, plan. That moment between sleeping and rising is not just physical, it's spiritual, plan. It's the moment your soul either stands up and says, I'm ready to show up for my life, or shrinks back and says, maybe tomorrow. And the person you become is built entirely from the answer you give in those small, plan, private moments. When you rise early, not because you have to, plan, but because you choose to, you're sending a message to the universe, to your mind, and to your future, plan. I am serious about becoming everything I'm capable of. It's not about the hour on the clock, plan. It's about the energy behind your decision, plan. Getting up is your way of declaring that your dreams matter more than your temporary comfort, plan. That your purpose matters more than your excuses. That even if you're tired, unmotivated, or unsure, you're still in, plan. Every great transformation begins with intention. And there is no more powerful intention than rising before you're required to, plan. That morning decision to stand when no one is clapping, to move when no one is watching, build something sacred inside you, plan. It strengthens your character. It reinforces your belief. It teaches your mind that you are the kind of person who follows through, plan. And once that belief takes root, it becomes very hard to stop someone like you. You may not see results right away, plan. The world may not notice that you got up at 5 a.m., that you chose discipline over distraction. But over time, plan, your consistency becomes your legacy. Your early rising becomes your identity. And every day you show up, plan. Every day you answer the call of your own potential. You are writing a sentence in the story of who you are becoming, plan. And that story is powerful. Not because it's loud, but because it's true, plan. Your legacy isn't something you build in one grand moment. It's not created in awards, applause, or achievements others can see, plan. It's built quietly, in the early hours when no one is watching, before the emails, the meetings, the noise of life. Plan that first hour of your morning. That's where your legacy is planted, plan. Not in what the world gives you, but in what you choose to give yourself, plan. And the most powerful gift you can offer your future is your presence early, alert, and intentional. When you win your morning, plan. You don't just buy yourself time. You build momentum. The kind of momentum that fuels the rest of your day. Plan. Because your morning is where you either train your discipline or feed your delay. Plan. Where you either create your future or surrender it to distractions. Plan. Those who leave a legacy are not those who only work hard in the spotlight. They are the ones who rise in silence. Plan. When the world is still asleep, and build what cannot be seen yet. Legacy is not about being remembered by everyone. Plan. It's about living in a way that you can be proud of, even if no one else claps. Plan. And there's something powerful about waking up and honoring your goals before the world even knows you're awake. Plan. That sacred time, those quiet hours, they hold your thoughts, your focus, your energy. And over time, those minutes compound. Plan. They become habits. Habits become character. And character becomes the foundation your entire legacy stands on. Plan. You don't need to do everything in one morning, but you do need to begin. Whether it's journaling, learning, praying. Plan. Stretching, or just sitting with yourself. The way you start your day becomes the way you carry your life. Plan. So when you ask yourself, who am I becoming? Don't look at your social media. Don't look at what others say. Plan. Look at your mornings. Look at that first hour. Plan. Because that is the blueprint of your legacy. And you're either building it with purpose or watching it slip away. Plan. Every time you rise with the alarm, not out of obligation. Plan. But out of intention. You're doing something far more powerful than just waking up. Plan. You are separating yourself from the version of you that chose delay. That version that found comfort in excuses. Plan. That stayed safe in silence, that hid behind. Maybe tomorrow, beating the alarm is symbolic. Plan. It means you're no longer willing to live life half awake. It means you're done repeating the cycle of postponing your purpose. Plan. We often think change happens in breakthroughs, in dramatic moments or public declarations. Plan. But true transformation happens quietly in the early hours when the world is still sleeping. Plan. It happens when the old you wants to pull the blanket back over your head, but the new you whispers, plan. Not today. That single decision to rise is a rebellion against who you used to be. Plan. You're not just waking up, you're evolving. You're becoming someone who follows through. Plan. Someone who doesn't wait for life to push them forward. It's not about being perfect. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. Plan. Every day for the rest of your life. Plan. It's about making a promise to yourself that you will no longer bow to the voice that keeps you stuck. Plan. Every day you beat the alarm, you beat the pattern, you beat the doubt, you beat the fear. Plan. You beat the story that says you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. And with each win, no matter how small, you gain strength. Plan. Quiet strength. The kind that makes you unshakable when the world tries to shake you. Plan. There's an old version of you that will always try to survive. The one that craves ease, comfort, and avoidance. Plan. But you don't owe your past self your future. The person you were yesterday isn't in charge anymore. You are. Plan. And every time you rise when it's hard, when it hurts, when it's easier not to, you are proving that to yourself. Plan. You are not just leaving the old you behind. You are rising as the one you were always meant to become. Plan. So the next time your alarm goes off, don't just hear the sound. Hear the message. It's not there to annoy you. Plan. It's there to remind you that your life is happening right now. Plan. That your future isn't waiting on someone else. It's waiting on you. Plan. That your strength isn't found in sleep. It's found in showing up even when it's hard. Every morning. Plan. You're not just waking up from sleep. You're waking up from fear, from excuses, from the comfort that has cost you too much. Plan. And if you can beat that one moment, that first resistance, you can beat anything. You don't need louder alarms. Plan. You need louder commitment. You need to stop snoozing on your own potential. Because the longer you delay, the further you drift. Plan. Not from time, but from the person you were meant to be. So tomorrow, when that alarm rings, don't fight the clock. Plan. Fight for your life. Don't rise for a routine. Rise for a reason. Plan. And let the world see what happens when someone finally stops pressing snooze on their soul.